Court does call the case of the people versus Marco Arizvankowski.
Council on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Robert Ellman with it on behalf of Mr. Arizvankowski.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Marco
Your name?
Arizvankowski.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Your Honor, we're here for a show cause on a bond violation revolving around tether issue, and I do believe at this time Mr. Arizvankowski would admit to that violation.
All right. What's he admitting that he did?
Removing the tether, Your Honor. But I would point out in terms of his actions after that removal, when he was called by the tether company to come back in, he went in immediately. He also contacted me. He turned himself in on the warrant when you did issue the warrant. And so I don't think there was any malicious intent here. I think the way he has explained it to me, he was, I don't know if this is the right word I'm going to use here, but fidgeting or playing with the tether, and unfortunately curiosity got the better of him.
Okay. Accept the admission to the violation. All right. What are we?
This has a second.
Pardon? November 4th. All right.
As the court, I'm sure, recalls, this is a case where the defendant had filed an appeal in the circuit court, and a lot of the paperwork seemed potentially unclear as to how that was
and-
proceed.
And Your Honor, I will say for the record that Mr. Arizvankowski, he did email the circuit court an updated, corrected version of the appeal, I believe. And if he's released today, he will go down there and check with them and make sure that he has done everything correctly to follow through with that appeal.
So, but has he received a response back from the circuit court?
I couldn't say, Your Honor. I think he's been in custody since he sent in the email and then turned himself in. So I don't know if he's even been in a place to check for a response back from the circuit court. And
Well,
he's just informed me that as far as he knows, he has not received a response.
well, part of my problem is that he was released on a tether, and now you're asking me to release and then interferes with that tether. And now you're asking me to release him again.
Yes, Your Honor. And as I already stated, I don't believe there was any malicious intent with his removal of the tether. And he did, I guess, in my experience, if he was planning or intending to abscond, he would have done so instead of going back to community corrections and then also turning himself in on the warrant. And so, yes, he removed the tether, but his actions aren't those of an individual that we normally see once they remove their tether. And so that's why I'm asking you to give him a second chance on that tether.
I get what you're asking. How do I ensure that this defendant's going to conduct himself, though? I mean, appropriately.
Your Honor, again, I think a tether is a good option.
Well, I'm going to have to think about that because I don't know a way in which to safely release this defendant given what he's done. And so I'll sentence on the violation November 4th, 2024 at 1 p.m., which is current sentencing is set for. But he's, yeah, and at this point, I'm just going to have his bond is going to be continued denied.
Okay, and
I will think about it and figure out what we can possibly.
And Your Honor, just for clarity, I do believe that with that being your order, I don't know how much progress he could make on communications with the circuit court pending his pertaining to his appeal, because he is pro se in that. So I just want to let you know, I don't know where we'll be with that on the 4th.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Okay.
That is probably a secondary concern for the court. The more pressing concern is community safety, quite frankly, given what's happening. All right.
Fair enough, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Court calls case people versus Golam. Is it Gambari?
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Prenny on behalf of Mr. Gambari. Mr. Gambari, please state your name for the record.
Golam Gambari.
We're here for a pretrial. Mr. Gambari also has a pending bond violation. I did get an updated report from Ms. Kerr today. Mr. Gambari is asking for an adjournment of the bond violation hearing. He did send out the test, and it did come back positive. However, he says around this time, he did a test at the hospital. He takes narcotics for his some medical conditions that are prescribed. They do drug testing consistently there to ensure that he is taking them in accordance with therapeutic processes. And he reports to me that he believes that test that was done at the hospital would come back negative. He just has not received those results yet.
When is that test?
He says that test was around the time of October 1st. Is that right?
Yes.
So is he indicating there was a test that came back that the cocaine is a false positive?
He is.
I did.
Really?
He's saying that he did not consume cocaine, and he believes this other test will show.
So when that test was sent out, it came back positive.
Yes, they sent it for a review.
They sent it for a review and it came back positive for cocaine.
Correct.
So now there's this other test that we're supposed to get, but we don't have the results that are going to show what?
He believes a different result than the test that was done at community
A
correction.
different result, like no cocaine?
Correct.
I did also.
He denies, Your Honor, that he consumed any cocaine. He denies that he consumed any cocaine. He does have a list of medications that he also tested positive for opiates. He does have a list of medications that he provided both to community corrections and to me that do include prescriptions for opiates. I know the court is more concerned about the cocaine, as there's no medical reason to consume cocaine. But again, I can only report to the court that he maintains that he didn't use cocaine, and he wants to prove it to the court using this other blood test. We've spoken quite a bit about this, and he denies any use. He is asking that he not be remanded today. He again does want some more time. He has a eviction.
When was this blood test or this test at the hospital?
Oh, he was in the hospital around the time of October 1st. He has an after visit summary. He was at Trinity Health on October 1st at 10:30. On that date, he did testing. And saw his doctor for his medical needs.
And we don't have the test results back yet?
Yeah.
No.
When are they expected back?
Just give it time. I can get it back.
He says he just needs time. He
When are they expected back?
Do you know when they're coming back?
I can get it today, tomorrow.
Pardon?
I can get it today.
So you could have gotten it yesterday and then had it here.
I didn't know that. I have to bring it.
He says well, but Your Honor, he does want me to tell you that he does have a hearing on his an eviction proceeding hearing today. He is concerned that he's going to be evicted if he is remanded at this time.
New lease. I have to sign in my new lease. No eviction.
Where do you live?
And 2993 Cascade Drive.
In Ann Arbor.
Yes. And I have to sign in my new lease. I don't have no eviction.
He doesn't have an eviction hearing
You have to sign-
because they do those on Tuesday.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Today's Wednesday.
I misunderstood. He has to sign his new lease
Yeah, I
today.
have to sign in new lease. At the same time, I have to be on a court today at 2:30 for I'm victim and for the accident, my damage, my property.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. He is the alleged victim on another case at 2:30 today
I'm a victim.
Where?
for damage to his property. Wednesday, 2:30, before Judge Garwood, Magistrate Garwood. It is a small claim.
It's a small claims. It's a civil action. Okay.
So, Your Honor, again, he's asking for an adjournment.
But he could have had his
For more
test
time.
results. If you want me to wait for, he could have had him here today because he just has to get them from the hospital. But he didn't do that. And then he comes here in court to say that I'm going to see this miracle test saying that the cocaine wasn't there when we've already had two tests that say that the cocaine was there. Have I summed that up correctly?
Your Honor, I don't know if, I don't want to, this is my assumption is that Mr. Gambari was waiting to hear the results back from the sent out test. Ms. Kerr did send up, I called her this morning and she said, oh, I didn't realize I had the results back. So perhaps he was waiting for those results to come back before getting the other tests because
Oh,
he maintains that he doesn't know where the cocaine is from.
okay. People.
Your Honor, this is an OWI second offense.
I know.
First offense is from 2018, and it involves a crash into a building.
You should, counsel, sign a release for you so you can get the test from the hospital. But at this point, the defendant's bond is revoked, defendant remanded to the jail. I'll adjourn this hearing to November 6, 2024, 9 a.m. Court calls the cases of the People versus John Haney.
Actually, want me for people?
All 9.
Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Haney, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
John Paul Haney.
Thank you, Your Honor. As Your Honor is aware, Mr. Haney has several pending matters, both
Really?
in this court,
Shocked.
as
Didn't
well
know.
as just a few in 15th. Her office has made a proposed global resolution and did just present that to the people yesterday. We are asking for an adjournment in order to further discuss that potential global resolution with the people and to solidify that in both the districts.
When is his next date in 15
The 24th, I believe.
of this
5th,
month?
25th, sorry.
Of this month.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll adjourn all these matters into November 6, 2024. 9
Thank you,
a.m.
Your Honor. And may I make a brief request as to bond?
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Haney is respectfully asking the court to consider a release to treatment. Look, Ms. Saab in our office did contact jail services to potentially start that process. Mr. Haney is very anxious to get into treatment. All of his pending cases are related to a substance. So he's anxious to get that
Does he
started.
have that? Is he held on his 15th district court cases?
Yes, Your Honor. But Ms. Saab from our office represents him on that, and she is going to be asking for release to treatment on those as well.
Okay, so that's not in place over there.
Not to my knowledge.
I'm
To my knowledge.
not going to change anything till I see what happens on the 24th. I'm going to leave the spot where it is.
Understood, Your Honor.
All
Thank you.
right, thank you. Thank you. Court calls, I've done pretty good. I don't know where, we need to find Emily. This is a team effort. Court does call the case, the people versus Daniel, is it C0CAlN3?
Conrad Siller on behalf of Eastern Township.
Probably said that all wrong.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Kaluski.
Kalashevsky.
Kalushevsky.
Chesky, I knew that, I messed it up, all right.
Your Honor, today we're here for a bond violation. This case, Mr. Kalushevsky pled on in 2022. So he needs to be reset for sentencing, but the magistrate set this hearing. I was wondering if you could tell us what the bond violation is for. Didn't receive a report, but he did inform me that at arraignment, the APA did indicate that there was possibly new charges coming. So I was wondering if it was new criminal activity, but I haven't seen anything filed yet.
No, what it looks like to me, what I can see is that on August 10th, 2022, he was supposed to be sentenced,
Yes.
was not sentenced, bench warranted at that time, and he has now arrived to grace us with his presence almost 2 years later.
Yes. Well, I'd ask the court to set a sentencing hearing. He does have another file that he also has a bond on that's holding him.
Set what for a hearing?
Sentencing on this file.
Sentencing? Okay.
Yeah, because he just needs to be sentenced.
Set his sentencing for, this one, November 13th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Bond will continue. Thank you. Say over 2 years later. Court calls the case of the people versus Samantha. Is it Samarcina?
C0CAlN3.
Okay, thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Samarcina. Your Honor, Ms. Samarcina is going to plead guilty as charged today.
And Your Honor, before we get to the sentence, where this was a pre-vehicle crash, so I'm going to ask if we can have a slightly longer time for sentencing, just to make sure that the crash victims can contact the amounts they may have.
All right. Ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name again for the record, please.
Samantha C0CAlN3.
All right. You can put your hand down. Ma'am, it is this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge of operating while intoxicated. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, up to a $500 fine plus court costs. The court could order community service and any rehabilitative programs the court deems necessary. The court could also order your vehicle immobilized, could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand all of that, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
And understanding that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, I'm not.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
of your own free will
Yes.
and because you believe that you are guilty of this offense?
Yes.
April 7th, 2024, at the location of Carpenter Road near Packard Road, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, I was.
Prior to operating that motor vehicle, had you ingested a controlled or had you ingested marijuana?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Were you stopped by the police or was there an accident?
There was an accident.
What happened?
Um, I was driving, I believe it was, and I had ran through a red light and I had gotten into a crash. I had hit two vehicles. I had previously ingested marijuana and I wasn't taking my medication correctly. And I was kind of not in my right mental state and I got into a car accident.
So you ran a red light and hit two cars?
Yes.
Did the police arrive?
Yes.
Were you taken to the hospital?
Yes, I was.
And was there a blood test?
Yes, there was.
And did that blood test show THC or a derivative of marijuana?
Yes.
Do you have any reason to dispute those test results?
No, I do not.
And Your Honor, for the record, the blood test showed 50 nanograms of delta 9 THC.
Thank you. Have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
We're satisfied.
Satisfied.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to this charge. Defendant is referred to Von Schwartz for substance abuse screening and assessment and the victim's impact panel. Sentencing in this matter will be December 11th, 2024, 9 a.m. Right. Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to wait online. We'll put you in with probation intake so we can begin this process, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Stephen John.
Conrad Silver on behalf of the township.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. John. Mr. John, please state your name for the record.
Stephen John.
All right.
We are here for a pretrial. I believe there's also a violation report. Mr. John had a late SoberLink test. That's why he is here today. We did have a conversation about it. He said he just overslept. It was negative for alcohol. I think it was about 47 minutes late. And he assured me that he will be testing on time moving forward. As for the pretrial, we are asking for an adjournment to earn a reduction. Mr. John is going to do an assessment with Von Schwartz. He has contacted Carrie. We're just waiting on a date for that assessment to be set. But that's in motion.
All right. So you just overslept?
I slept late. I was studying for an exam and then I woke up late. So it didn't really work out in my favor. It's not an excuse, but it was my fault.
Where are you in school?
At University of Michigan here in Ann Arbor.
I know where it is.
Happy to say it.
Really? What are you studying?
I'm at Ross for business.
Pardon?
I'm at Ross for business.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
What was the exam on?
It was an exam, it was a presentation. So it was a group presentation. I had to do all the little nitty-pitty work. So I was up to like 5 a.m. finishing up this presentation and then writing up the
How many people were in the group?
3.
Man, you
Plus-
gotta learn how to lead the group. You get those other people to do that stuff.
tried.
I think I made it through school.
I looked at
No,
I
no.
looked at it, I was like, damn, no one finished it. Yeah, so
Well, what grade did you get?
I got an A on it actually. So
Nice.
it worked out in my favor.
After all that, then he gonna brag. What he should have said, if he'd been smart, he should have said, I got a B, and barely, Your Honor, because I had to sleep.
I'll remember.
I don't feel bad for you. All right, I'll let the thing go. Just don't have any more late tests.
No problem.
All right. How much time did you need? That you don't know when the
No, we're waiting on a return call from Carrie.
All right, let's do it this way. My sentencing date would normally be the 13th, and she's getting people in for that. So I'll put this out to November 20th.
Yeah, that should work. I know.
Really? Really?
You're
He has a lot to say today. November 20th, 2024, 9 a.m. Invited.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
If you like this video, please subscribe. I post multiple court videos every week. Until next time.